What about them of be a Ghana be? What about them of White House near BNA? White House BNA, you were saying what about Bawana? One tower you were saying, okay. Beni America be able more than Nameta, Osikine, Ojoba, Bay Bemi, 2 Bemi, no more Bemi. Oh, Mosamo for a Siki. Be an one ammonia. They want a canon, wants to market Ghana being. I feel like I know. Oh, Bay Bemi, 2 Bemi, giddy.
They always will come to you every 4 years thinking that by lavishing gifts, boxes with their names on them, with their pictures on them, telling you give us 4 more years so that we can do 4 more things for ourselves and our family only and leave. Political elections, they should expect this, and we believe it will come to pass unless they step in. 1, intimidation. During the Iowa Suez fellow Ghanaians, Solomon Owusu, the forces that be and vote in peace. Now the government have a responsibility.
Mama yenyina no yankeke humum na obia sene Ghana ye bo national anthem ayeye no ye besre oman no ye die oman nkoso because bra adu no na ye ani bresam kase pa ademayen samre na sase yenyina yake humum obia mra na ye mo Ghana national anthem na they also found sego hu say come match pass no found sego hu they also found sato bo no found sato boy na kai tete no Kwame Nkrumah bre yenko ni nkuti ma yenyina yehu se ade ayeye no eye Ghana yedie ene Ghana nkoso we nye party nye party B na mum se ne be ya Ghana ebetimi akoso na o na fa ne ntuma pa afra enti na me ya bo national anthem amomi ehu se yenyina no ye Ghana fo ene ya behiem concerned citizen Ghanaians baby yedu no ebraso ye ka braso awan ya wakoma beti o memo wakoma nte na ye ka bema Solomon Owusu wawanitia yeka agudie Charles Bisu katasehye proye kom Charles Bisu Solomon Owusu tanoboa de nani to fom odidi ntenten okote se galamse agudie yewia amoma mpani AKUFO adokra be ka kire ye se party bi de nam se wono ba galamse oba wone de obetwam na nokura baako kura nim na yenya mining doctor pa abaha samre doctor nso ebam no abekire enuomem afa gudie ene sene kwan befa so a yebetimi ama nioma atotoye na ho sene doctor pa Solomon obone type pete na ho sene wa se ne seat na fita ididam now when in Pabua was a power, one cassa who say yes, Solomon, obehie nsamago. At moment answer, answer bakope. Yenia Solomon, doctor, a good yora, no matter as a mame, Menawase.
Mambotai, also my botai.
You said where you are to. Oh boy, but where you are.
Okay, I'm me. Mine's for the entire botai, sir. Asema mebeka mekano twinenso enam se ewiase afane nyina ehwebi na nsem wei ni the entire yeba ebeye sa program wenti no meka no brofo. Fellow Ghanaians, invited press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to the Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. We are grateful to each of you for honoring our invitation. The purpose of this event is to create awareness for the world leaders and the international community to continuously monitor the upcoming presidential and parliamentary elections in Ghana. We believe that this action will help to avoid any potential violence before, during, and after the elections. Mrs. Adukwe Mensah Jane, the current Electoral Commissioner, was appointed by the incumbent President Nana Addo AKUFO in August 2018. After terminating the appointment of the immediate past Electoral Commissioner, Mrs. Charlotte Osei. Tensions are already brewing in the country in anticipation of the forthcoming election due to the following. 1. Electoral infractions created by Mrs. Jane Adukwe Mensah, her mishandling of the voters' registration exercise, the EC's questionable disqualification of 5 independent presidential candidates, and several allegations leveled against the current EC leadership as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, elections are the cornerstone of Ghana's democracy, and they have strengthened the nation's peace under the Fourth Republic. The flaws on the part of the EC have created inconsistencies in the fundamental link between the trust in election infrastructure and the confidence that Ghanaians have the confidence that Ghanaians have placed in basic democratic function. These irregularities have raised serious red flags concerning the credibility and transparency of the upcoming presidential and parliamentary elections. International observers from the UN, EU, that is the United Nations, European Union, African Union, and ECOWAS, who will be monitoring the elections in Ghana, should expect the following electoral malpractices and hence should put measures in place prior to the elections. They should expect this, and we believe it will come to pass unless they step in. 1. Intimidation. During the Ayawaso West Wogomba election in Accra in 2019, supporters of the major opposition party reported acts of intimidation to prevent them from going out to vote. There is video footage of the youth wing of the incumbent political party using guns and police vehicles to intimidate and threaten community members who support other political parties in their community. That's ahead of the elections. In addition, the Deputy General Secretary of the incumbent political party, Nana Obribwahim, has declared a dispatch of more soldiers during the upcoming elections, instead of the policemen who are primarily responsible for overseeing the election security in Ghana. The second point is disenfranchisement. During the new voters registration exercise this year, armed men in uniform purported to be national security operatives were dispatched to strongholds of the major opposition party to prevent Ghanaian citizens from exercising their fundamental rights of acquiring voter ID cards. There were rampant gunshots, brutalities, and chaos. In addition, we were reliably informed that names of some of the security officers have been removed from the voters register, which is very dangerous. Third is rigging. Again, the international observers should do everything possible during the voters registration to Electoral Commission deliberately announce bigger numbers than the actual figures in some of the incumbent party strongholds. That was during the registration exercise. The commission made the necessary corrections only after Ghanaians in those constituencies challenged the figures with evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, the current EC and her team, upon assumption of office, decided to ignore the inputs from the Inter-Party Advisory Committee, that's the IPAC, which is the important mechanism in the country's electoral system. This committee serves as the advisory body to Ghana's Electoral Commission to manage distrust in the electoral system. It consists of representatives from all the political parties in Ghana. Other members who serve as observers in the IPAC include representatives from the civil society organizations, that's the CSOs, and the donor community. Let me give a brief history about the IPAC. Some people don't know the importance of IPAC in Ghana. As part of the Constitutional Democratic Dispensation Program to transition from military to civilian rule, presidential elections were held on November 3, 1993. The National Democratic Congress, which emerged from the Military Provisional National Defense Council, that's the PNDC, under the leadership of the late Flight Lieutenant Jelly John Rawlings, won the election in 1992. Unfortunately, the opposition political parties, including the New Patriotic Party (NPP), People's National Convention (PNC), the National Independence Party (NIP), and the People's Heritage Party (PHP), boycotted the parliamentary election, which was scheduled to be conducted on December 8, 1992. The opposition parties took this decision after complaining about widespread rigging, electoral irregularities, intimidations, and harassments from the opposition party members in the presidential elections. They later expressed their willingness to take part in the political process outside parliament. Because there had not been workable and effective parliament in Ghana since 1991, after the PNDC assumed office in the international community and the CSO advocated for electoral reforms to address the challenges encountered during the 1992 elections. That was when the IPAC was formed. To consolidate Ghana's democracy for future successes, there was the need to institutionalize dialogue and consultation as the means for political parties to express their grievances to the Electoral Commission for appropriate action to be taken accordingly. This is the reason why IPAC was established as a committee to discuss and build consensus on policies relating to electoral matters before their implementations. There have been several electoral reforms after 1992 elections to ensure free, fair, and transparent elections. Some of the reforms included changing from opaque to transparent ballot boxes, addition of photo IDs on ID cards, the voters' ID cards, voting of presidential and parliamentary elections on the same day, declaration of polling station results on the same day, adoption of biometric voters register system, and many more. Currently, the attitude of the EC and her team towards IPAC has made opposition political parties lose trust in the electoral infrastructure in Ghana. The EC insists that the Electoral Commission is an independent body and hence does not need input from the committee members before implementing new policies under her authority. That is Mrs. Jane Adukwei-Mensah. This woman and her team call for IPAC meetings just to announce decisions they intend to carry out without necessarily seeking the opinions of the IPAC members. This attitude has led to various flaws in our current electoral system because she doesn't want to listen to anybody in Ghana. We would like to elaborate on few electoral problems under the leadership of Mrs. Jane Adukwei-Mensah. First, Ayawaso West Wogon by-election incident. Subject to Ghana's constitutional provision of the replacement of a legislator after death, a by-election was conducted on January 31st, 2019 to replace the late member.